Hi, here's a short walk-around video showing the features and details of my 1977 R100RS. The first thing to note is that it is a 1977 model, so it is the first of its kind, right? With this Hans Muth designed fairing that was developed in the Pininfarina wind tunnel in Italy. Very special, right? Before this, there was the R100RS. And this was their new, sort of hot rod, top of the line flagship model. What was unique about 1977, other than it was the very first year that this bike was made, is that it came with spoked wheels. And when we look down at the rims, that they were painted and they've got pinstripes, right? Blue pinstripes. The next year they changed these to the snowflake wheels. So this is unique to this model only. I looked for a long time when I bought this. I've owned it about 8 years, and I actually owned one of these when I was just out of high school. So I bought one in 1978. It was only a year old, and kept it for about 5 years, rode it back and forth across the country. Always wanted another one, and looked for a long time. This bike I bought from a guy in Vancouver, BC. He did a fantastic job. This thing has about 70,000 actual miles. He completely cosmetically restored it. He owned it for maybe 5 or 6 years, and during that time he did everything. Rebuilt the forks, painted it, the tank, and had everything done, hand pinstriped. Very, very correct. Sourced everything that wasn't quite right and got it all looking good. The solo seat, it comes with a dual seat as well. It's a Corbin, but it's got the original BMW factory frame around it, all painted exactly the same and in fantastic condition. When I got it, I haven't done much to it because, again, he did pretty much everything that was necessary. I put a new windshield on it because the windshield wasn't correct. I also put a new, this front glass. This is hard to find because it's 1 year pretty much only. This narrow band around here, they changed it, and on later models you'll see it's got a little wider here. And so on the RTs and RSs of later years, they didn't use this particular framework. And it took me a while to find a glass that wasn't chipped, that was in really great condition. So anyway, it took a while there. I also put new headers on it. The mufflers were perfect, but the headers had been sort of beat up a little bit. They were a little discolored, and so I bought these from Meyer in Germany and put those on. And of course, these are 40 millimeter headers, right? This is the big hot rod model. Got 40 millimeter headers, 40 millimeter carbs, the big valves. And speaking of the valves, the previous owner, not the guy I bought it from, but the guy before him, the original guy, he had the motor completely redone. So the motor, the trans, the rear drive was completely gone through at about 50,000 miles. And I mean, everything from the clutch, pistons, bearings, seals. And so this thing runs and looks pretty much like new. So let's see, what else can I do? It's been a runner. So the previous owner and we've ridden it. So I mean, when you get up close, I'd say it's about a 99 out of 100. And only reason it isn't perfect is you can get up in here and you can see that there's little tiny stone chips, little tiny ones up here in the front, right, from riding the thing. But it'd be a shame not to ride it because these things go so good. Tires are basically brand new, but they are from about 2012, which is fine for me because I'm not taking it to the racetrack or anything. Let's see, what else can I tell you? The tank, of course, was completely redone outside and in. The inside is perfect. I'm not sure with the light if we can get down in here, but I've got a lot of pictures too that I posted that you can look through. I tried to capture all of these details. Because it is a Canadian model, the speedometer is in kilometers, right? and it's showing about 16,457 kilometers at the moment, because of course it's gone over once. And when these gauges were sent to Palo Alto speedometer and all redone, they work beautifully. They just kept the mileage the same. The voltmeter, the proper motometer, BMW motometer, voltmeter, and clock are in here. Clock is running perfect. My watch shows 11:07. This thing says 11:07. The clock will work beautifully as long as the battery voltage stays up. A lot of times people complain that these gauges, especially the clocks, start to run slow, and they like full voltage. If the voltage drops in the bike, that clock will start to not work as well. So when you keep the battery up, the clock works beautifully. Let's see, speaking of the clock, let's turn this thing on, right? So we turn it on, we see that our gauges, right, light up. This, again, being a Canadian model, has the unique feature that you can turn the lights all the way off. Okay, so this is the light switch. So when we turn it one click, right, we come around and we see that we've now turned on, right, this special parking light, the sort of light that normally would be inside the headlight on other bikes. It is here, and we should also see the tail light on. And there we are, okay? And then if we click it down one more, right, that'd be our run position. So now we've got the headlight on, and as well as our marker light. And then we come over here and we hit our button, right? So we have our high beam, and then we have our flasher, like that. Let's see, what else can we check? Brake light, let's see if I can push it with my foot. All right, so we've got our brake light working, right? I can't reach all the way up there with my hand, but it does work off the handlebar as well. Now, another unique thing about the RS in 1977, it came with dual horns. There's one right there, and since this bike is correctly restored, it's got both of the original horns, and here we go. Very loud, very, a great setup, right? Blinkers. So we turn on, we got the right blinker. Okay, got it up here. We turn on the left blinker. I'm no videographer, so sorry if this is kind of jerky. All right, so we got our blinkers working. So all the lights work, all the blinkers work, the horn works, the gauges work. Yeah, everything. Let's take a look here under the seat. Again, seat's in perfect condition. He had it recovered with an original BMW cover in fresh foam. Again, all restored, the factory stickers, right? You can see in here, it's super clean. We've got the original pump, all right? We've got the toolbox, and with the original tool roll. Down under here, we have the correct Y-ASA battery. So, yeah, no problems. And again, that tool roll, I won't unroll it now, but you can see in the photos that it's got all the original tools. There's this neat little glove box back here. That's a nice feature that when you look up under the seat, right, the seat foam seals it as you're riding. So that's another neat feature. And I did mention, and it is in the photographs, that this does come with the BMW dual seat, all painted to match, pinstriped, with a Corbin like dual canyon seat with backrest. Again, the bike was all hand pinstriped, right? That's the real deal. And again, all the correct details. She runs strong. I got a cold start video that you can look at, as well as a riding video. And anyway, good luck with your decision. I love these things. Why am I selling? Well, I actually ride my GSs more these days because I'm kind of getting old. All right, have a good day.